Fuck this manga, bro. Fuck this. Why is this manga so frustrating to me? It's so frustrating. I think that's the I think this is the first time I cried because I was so frustrated. Like, oh man. Why? Why? Just why? Why did he? It is so. Ooh. I am angry and I am sad. I am frustrated. I just want to punch someone. I want to punch Punpun. I just want to punch Punpun in the face and say, fuck off. Legitimately. Oh my god. That panel, when they mirrored Aiko, when they mirrored Punpun passing Aiko in that really momentous moment all those chapters ago that pretty much changed the course of Punpun's life. And now they're doing it again, but with Sachi, and it's it's. I talked about this in the reaction of how Punpun had so much development throughout this entire story, and yet it feels like he has been stagnant this entire time. Like the Punpun that we know from like chapter 1 is still the Punpun that we are seeing right now, but just dialed to the extreme, right? Like he still has problems making decisions. He still has, impulses. He still he still lets his emotions control him. He still has no control of his sexual desire. He is still the Punpun that we know, but just so much worse. It is frustrating and it is sad at the same time because of how many times Punpun could have changed his life, could have just went the other direction, just went the other direction, just go the opposite way of where he is going, and yet every time he tries to do it, he decided to do a 180 and go back to where he came from before. It is so frustrating. It's frustrating because it shows it's even more frustrating because when you realize like Punpun knows this. He realizes this. He has commented on this multiple times already, right? This spell that Aiko has casted on me will be very hard to break as he proclaimed. He knows this. He knows this trajectory, this direction that he is going, and yet he is going for it anyways. Because he always has this mentality that this is the right way to go. This is, of course, I am the main character of my story. Like that's like Punpun's philosophy. So whatever happens, clearly, I'm able to overcome it. Clearly, this is meant to be happening. Clearly, I am not wrong. How could I be wrong? I am the protagonist, right? How could I be wrong? And yet he is oh so wrong. And I think it's beautifully done because it pretty much nailed this look. Like I'm sure some of us has been there before. And what I mean is, like realizing that what you're doing is wrong, but yet you're doing it anyways because you think it'll, be all right, thinking that this is it, this is the one, and yet it just keeps tumbling down, and everything is just going wrong, and yet you keep still persisting. You still keep saying that, oh yeah, this is fine, but it's not fine. Him actually believing, no, she's the one. I hate that. I hate that feeling so much. I hate it because I've done it before. It hits. It hits. It hits. I hate it because it's reminding me of my own past, and I hate it. Those are really old wounds that are starting to grow back again. It's biting me in the ass right now. Oh, like I don't want to go to I don't want to talk about like my own past experiences, but yeah, yeah, had a crush on someone, thought she was going to be the one, and this was a long time ago, by the way. But like, yeah, I had a crush on someone, thought he was going to be she was going to be the one. Um, Met somebody else who is really into me, but ultimately I rejected her because I thought no, she's not the one. She was the other one, and now she has a boyfriend, and yeah, that hurts. It stings. Yeah. Sorry. Got a bit personal there. Got a bit personal. Like it's all good. It's all good. Like we're all still friends. Don't worry about it. But like, it's not just Punpun though. It's also Aiko. Like Aiko, as I mentioned in the reaction, is the enigma, right? Because she is obviously the bad influence in Punpun's life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she is a bad person, right? As we have seen before and now, she has obviously had a lot of issues with her own personal life, with her mom, right? We saw this in the very beginning chapters of Punpun, right? We saw the bruises and the fact that it is still happening now, right? In her, I would say, adulthood, right? She is 20 years old. You could practically say that you are a mature person now, right? You are a full proper adult, right? But you're still a young adult. And it's this one hand of like realizing that Aiko is pursuing Punpun because she finds comfort in Punpun, but it's also the fact that she is, I would even say, conditioned to be, abused, that she is able to tolerate Punpun's own, like, advances on her. Like, obviously, she hates her mom. Like, she wants to get rid of her mom ASAP. Her mom is a terrible influence and a terrible mother, terrible parent, should not be anywhere near Aiko at all. But at the same time, she never fought. She never fought back. She could have, right? Her mom is physically, like unable to move, right? Or she had like physical like problems, makes her, unable to move properly, or health issues. But the fact that Aiko still allows this to happen, the fact that Aiko has suffered through this for, I would say, more than, I would say almost her entire life, and seeing her being, being deflowered by Punpun, right? The blood kind of gives the confirmation that this is her first time. At least, again, that's how I see it. But it's that moment, that little dialogue when Punpun was doing it, and she was like, just shoot it already. Like, just get it over with. You're having fun, right, Punpun? This is what you wanted. I'm giving it to you. Fuck my life, right? Literally and physically, but literally and figuratively. But it's that dismissive tone of like, just fucking do it already. Just do it. He didn't. He came outside. Coward, she says. And yet she cannot let go as well. I love you, says Punpun. Then, I love you too, says Aiko. It's not genuine. It's not like she actually loves him. It's like a response. It's not coming from the heart. It's like, if you say yes, then I'll say yes. You know what I mean? Like if you do it, then I'll do it. Like it's one of those situations, man. It's these two are fucked. Like actually fucked. They need some help. And they're not only destroying themselves, because they are. Punpun and Aiko are destroying themselves when they are together. This is a very toxic relationship in my eyes. They should not be together at all. It is the fact that they are attached to one another, but they just don't help each other out mentally speaking. Like, they're not helping each other. They're not healing wounds. They're just putting band-aid. That's it. That's the analogy that I'm going for. Both of these characters, they have wounds, right? Aiko physically and Punpun mentally. They're helping each other, but they're just putting bandage. They're not actually healing them. They're just hiding it. They're just putting it away and not actually confronting it. It'll eventually make the wounds go bigger if you don't treat it well. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you have a wound and then you just wrap it around, but that's all you do. Like, you don't put any like medicine in it. You don't like rinse it out, for like bacteria and all that stuff. You just plaster it in. Like eventually that wound it's not gonna heal. And if you keep like doing whatever you're doing, it's just gonna open. That's basically Aiko and Punpun. They think they're healing themselves. They think they're helping each other, but no, they're just making it worse. And then you have people like Sachi over here who may not be as kind as Aiko. and yet currently she I mean, from what I've seen, she clearly is a better fit for Punpun. Like she was able to bring Punpun back, right, from his triangular form. But Punpun was the one who, well, both of them started to drift apart. Punpun was ultimately the one who never really wanted to go with her again. You know, who doesn't want to meet her that often. Sachi being sexually, um, sexually frustrated. Obviously, she seeks out somebody else to pleasure her. Right? She seeks out her ex husband, and ultimately she got pregnant because of him. She wants to abort. She is already going for it. She is asking for Punpun to accompany her in this very difficult time. Just like Aiko in the past, she is looking for Punpun for help, and Punpun betrays her. Yeah, you can say that Sachi did say no to Punpun, like, no, don't come, but that's just Sachi being the slight tsundere that she is. She's not really a tsundere, but you know that tiny bit of like, yeah, don't come. When she says don't come, it means come. It means come here. Don't take that in a sexual way. This whole part is a fucking shit show. I love it, by the way. It's probably one of my favorite parts of Goodnight Punpun ever. It is so frustratingly. See you all next week for the next chapter of Goodnight Punpun. Have a nice day. Take care of yourself. Peace.